Okay, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Let's go! Let's go!
Are you ready?
It's time!
Welcome back to another Tuesday night episode of Tech Q&A with yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. How is everyone doing this fine Tuesday evening? I want to know. I am doing quite well. Thank you for asking. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my long days, but hey, we don't miss. So it's Tech Q&A. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat, or you know what? I'm even going to turn on the call in link in case you want to call in and have a conversation about whatever your heart so desires related to tech, related to careers, things like that. All right. As Ferris says in the chat, we are built differently here. And shout out to Ferris and the endless grind. The chick told him, hey, you have an endless grind. And he was like, you know what? Yeah, I do. I got to get back to work. I got to get to business. What's going on, Adrian Roberson? How are you doing tonight? All right. So let's jump into it. Let's get into our agenda for the night and let's get after it. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you to all of the subscribers, the new ones, the old ones, the ones who've been with me for a very, very long time, the ones who are active, the ones who watch from the clouds. You are all very much appreciated.
I appreciate you. We the best.
And shout out to the Patreon members, the Tech Barbarians, the Technical Explorers. Been having some great conversations. Shout out to the YouTube members, the Tech Mercenaries. Shout out to the Bag Chasers. And you know what? Let's just say shout out to my Tech Savages, the whole gang. Shout out to you all. We are out here winning. Yes, we are. So let's get into a little bit of housekeeping for tonight. We already went through our gratitudes, saying thanks to the subscribers and shout out to the Patreon members and everyone else. But before we even go on to our show schedule, I want to say a double congratulations. Saturday morning, I was a bit hard on my South Florida team that I barely ever watched, but I did get to go to a game this season. So let me give my first congratulations, right? I'm going to congratulate someone personally, because this past Saturday, one of the people that I train with in jiu-jitsu, who also is on the Panthers team, he did his first jiu-jitsu competition. And he did pretty well for his first, so I want to say a big shout out to him. Shout out to Zach. And that goes into shout out to the Panthers, the Florida Panthers down here in South Florida for winning the Stanley Cup. me, I am not a hockey watcher. I barely watch sports nowadays. But shout out to the Florida Panthers for representing South Florida for winning the Stanley Cup. Shout out, clap it up. What's going on, Telltale Woke? So we have a call. Oh, I think they hung up, but we had a call coming in. I think it was from Adrian, which I was gonna. If you call back, I'm gonna answer. But let me just get through the show schedule, and then we can get into this. All right. So let me run through the show schedule real quick. All right. It goes. Our live show schedules. Sunday afternoons, we have software explorations. Working our way through Terraform, still troubleshooting, trying to figure out our ECS thing. Tuesday nights, we have Q&A sessions. If you can call in, you can put your questions in the chat. You can, and I also find questions online to find, and we can have that discussion. Then we have Thursday nights where we have our software explorations, where we're going through different things. Being that this coming Thursday is the presidential debate. We might modify the show a little bit. We'll figure something out because I do want to watch this presidential debate, see how that's going to go, because we like to be very, very well rounded over here. All right. So that is that. And then we have our morning shows Mondays and Wednesdays, 7:30 a.m. Coffee and Kata. News and mobile development. Tomorrow we're probably going to start doing some research into how do we actually build this watch app. All right. So we're going to look into that. And then Saturdays, my favorite show of the week. Why is it my favorite show? It's because I get to hang out in a realm, a field that I'm not so familiar with, but I have the experts with me. Yes, I have the experts. I have Yakar and Mitch in the chat with me, hanging out, correcting all of my mistakes and my flaws as I break down this information. We have some amazing, great shows, and I love it. I love that show. So, that's what we do. That is what we do. Like Montel Jordan said, this is how we do it. All right. So that show is The Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate. That is where we review our weekly job numbers, our weekly economic data, right? So this coming Saturday is going to be a pretty long list of data. So we're going to shorten up the ones that we review on a regular basis. We're probably going to kick that over because for the ones that we're going to end up reviewing next week anyways, we'll kick that over to the following week and review that. Not much of a difference. But the ones that are maybe monthly and are new, we're going to be focused on those for this coming Saturday. So definitely want to tune in. That is at 9:15 a.m. Saturday mornings. The Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate weekly economic numbers review show. All right, let's jump into our pre-recorded content. So we have on Mondays candid conversations. This past yesterday, I spoke about, technically it's more failure equals more success. I also named it. Yeah, what did I name it yesterday? Today's failure is tomorrow's success. Yes, that's what I named it. And it's all about mindset and strategy, and being willing to embrace failure so you can have tons and tons of success in the future. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about QA metrics, having a strong QA team, strong QA foundation, having strong software, and it comes down to the metrics. How do you break it down? Let's not have our metrics manipulate. Let's have some clean metrics. All right, have it tell a true story. And then Fridays, the Bug Bite, where we review different software bugs or cybersecurity type stuff, or what crazy people end up doing. This coming Friday, we're going to be talking about an ex-employee, how it cost its former company $600,000. Yes, $600,000. And what happened after that, all right? And then throughout the week, we have clips from different shows. I've been just releasing different clips, different shows, trying to give people a wider view of the things that go on different shows on this channel. So in case they find one appealing, they want to jump in, come and join us. Come and have the fun with us. All right. So that is our pre-recorded content. If you haven't done that so already, do me a big favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live and or drop new content. All right. So that is it. And if you need one-on-one coaching, go or you just want to have a back and forth discussion with me via text, go check out the Patreon, www.techcoachralph.dev. I'll give you some pointers on your resume. If you are one of the coaching tiers, we can work on your resume one-on-one over video, and we can do mock interviews, things like that. And if you're on the highest tier, then you can definitely join in to build some experience, some valuable experience into how the software development process works. All right. So that is the Patreon, www.techcoachralph.dev. Don't miss out. And I just found out that Patreon is going to be doing like sponsoring gift memberships. So that might be something that I do where you say, you know what, let's gift the membership for, a certain amount of time so people can actually start to experience it, see what's going on. So that is something that should be coming out soon. We'll check it out. We will revisit it as we find out. So that is that. So I'm going to say this now. If I think it was Adrian Roberson who was calling in, if you want to call in and have a quick conversation, feel free to click the link again and we can do that. Just wanted to get through the show schedule real quick, but feel free to click the link. Anyone can click the link if you want to have a conversation. You don't have to be on screen, but if you're willing to, then I'll put you on. We'll have a conversation and we'll go from there, right? So that is that. Let's get this off the screen. All right, so here's the thing. So let's do this real quick. I don't even have a title for this. Let me see if I can get a title for this real quick. Let's see here. Because I thought of a little icebreaker. All right, let's do that. All right, so let's get into our icebreaker for tonight. And it's not going to be long. It's not going to be, I'll even put a timer on for it, but I don't think it's going to be that long. All right, so I just gave it a name right quick, right? Just off the top of my head, I just do me. And I'm going to just throw a 5-minute timer on that, right? So what do I mean by I just do me? So there's a lot of times, right, that we'll see certain things, like certain videos online and things like that. And they might be like giving like some type of victim Olympic story, or they might be giving like, just advice that might be outdated, that might not be accurate. And, like Mitch would say, oh, we should react to that. You should react to that. I'd be like, nah, I just do me. Because what I've realized is that most people, they just want to hear themselves complain. They just want to hear themselves talk. And I'm like, all right. What's the best way to put this? With all due respect, I just don't care about most people that way. I just don't care about 99% of the people that way. 99.9%. The ones who are in my close immediate circle, I care for them somewhat. Right? But for the most part, I'm like, people just like complain and they just want to whine and they want people to feel sorry for them. And I don't feel sorry for people unless something actually bad happened to you. But most of the times, people don't give us the full story anyways. Or when I'm looking at like some of the conversations that are being had and things like that, and it's just a Crimea, shout out to Justin Timberlake, but it's like a Crimea River story, and then like if you say something, then they want to like respond back and they know better and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? Do you? I just do me. But do you? When you see like, I don't know, maybe it's that, like Ferris said, we're built different, but there's some people like you, like even offside, like off of like online and stuff, like just I'll give you an example. Example. There was someone that is somewhat in my family, right? They were thinking about taking a boot camp for software development. And I'm like, well, why don't you just do it this way? And you know me, I've been in the industry for, at that time, probably was like 10 years or so. Yeah, about maybe not, it was probably more than that, but I've been in the industry for a long time. Because even outside of QA, I've been like in tech since, 2005-ish. And they were like, oh no. And they had some weird reason. I'm like, okay, fine. Do you go spend your $1,000 a month to do this? What do I care? So I just stay out of it. I stay out of people's problems. Like if you come to me and you wanna join to become one of the Patreon members, you want to have a conversation back and forth. But I'll tell you this though, I'll be quick to even if you join for coaching at the highest tier and you just want to do what you want to do, I'm like, all right, cool, you can go, because people want to be heard. People want to be heard. Like your opinion really matters in stuff that you don't know. And then they make assumptions and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm not losing any sleep over. Like whatever you're going through, right? Whatever you're going through, I'm not losing any sleep over it. And that's why I don't give advice. I just share things in general. And if you actually want my advice, then you're gonna have to reach out. I'll tell you this. One of my tech barbarians, I don't even know how they found me on my neck, right? But they before they even signed up for anything, they sent me a Manek question, a text message asking this. I said, okay, yeah, this is the information. If you want to set up a consultation, boom. And then we had a 30-minute conversation, and then right after that, they joined to be tech barbarian, and now they're killing it. They know all this type of stuff, and I'm like, see, that's the type of people that listen because they want to learn. They're like a sponge. But then other people, they just want to hear themselves talk. They want to hear themselves complain, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Nope, not me. I just do me. How that song goes? You can do you. I just do me. Something like that. I forgot. That song was a long time ago, but I couldn't care less whatever it is that you are doing or complaining about, because ain't nobody got time for that. All right. With that being said, that is my icebreaker. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I really, we'll end it like this, right? We'll end it like this. One of the books that I listened to, I think I actually read it. I don't know. I might have listened to it, but it was what's the name of that book? The Fountainhead. Yes, it was called The Fountainhead. And I forgot the name of the guy, the main character in the book, right? But he was an architect, but he had some different designs from the traditional, and they were trying to make his life hell, right? And one of the people, maybe it was some inspector or regulator or something like that, who was trying to make his life hell. And he asked them, and I've shared this before, right? And he asked them, what do you think about me? And the guy, the main character, responded, well, that's just the thing. I don't think about you. And that's honestly, I love that quote so much. I got a fossil watch some years ago, and you can engrave quotes on the back of a watch, and I engraved that quote. I engraved the quote that I don't think about you, because I don't. For me, I'm more of the person, if I can't see you right in front of my face, if we're not having a conversation face to face, then you're the last thing on my mind. When I see you, we speak and we're cool. I don't have problems with people. But if you're not, if we're not having a conversation, then I'm not going out of my way. I wonder how this person. I wonder how that, because I have too many things to do. I'm just saying. Anyways, that's it. It might be hard. It might be harsh, right? You might think you might think that this is harsh, but remember,
It doesn't matter what you think.
I'm just saying. I'm kidding. Not really, but I'm kidding. All right. Anyways, that is that. We are here. We are in the building. Let's check the chat real quick. All right. So what do we got going on with my guys and my gals tonight? So we got my guy, Yakar, in the building. What's going on, Yakar? Did I ever tell you guys that Yakar is always right? I don't know how. Like I was trying to figure out this thing with this video stuff, and like it's probably this. I'm like, I don't think so because this, and then doing some more research. Oh yeah, it's probably this. I'm like, God, like your car. All right, you got it. All right. Anyways, let me get to the top. So we have my guy Ferris, who said he is first, and that we are built different because we are engineered to win. And we got my guy Adrian Roberson in the building, who might be trying to call in. Once he calls in, we will take. If we're in the middle of a question, though, when he calls in, we're just gonna have to give me some grace. Wait for me to finish the question, and then I'll answer your call. We have a conversation, whether you want to be on screen or not. It's up to you. But we'll have a conversation. People will be able to hear you, and we can talk. All right. So that's that. And Bear said he took that personality. He didn't even take it personally. He took that your endless grind personality. That's how deep it was. That's how deep it cut. It was more than personal. It hit his personality. Oh my goodness. But guess what, Ferris? Guess what? I think that makes you an even better person. Because at the end of the day, when all the smoke clears, who is going to be standing at the finish line? It's going to be you. It's going to be you.
Let's get it.
Right? And we got my guy Telltale Woke in the building. What's going on? Telltale Wokes. And Ferris says he has a question. Let me see. I will be working to collaborate on a coding project for a group. What's the best way to contribute? All right, I'm gonna start that question. Maybe that'll be our first question that we answer. Let's see. And Ferris says also I pay and they want to do another interview after the offer letter. Is that normal? I'm gonna save that question as well. We got Ferris might just be taking over my questions for tonight because he has some good questions. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. And it says that failure video came up right before my interview. Thought I was gonna bomb it, but see, and I see because Telltale Woke is a member of the Patreon, and we've been speaking back and forth. And I can tell you with assurance that he did not bomb the first round of interviews. Mr. Telltale Woke is moving on to the second round of interviews.
They ain't believe in us.
They didn't believe in us, but look, the tech savages are in the building. We don't miss.
We the best.
All right. And I'm gonna star your car's response to Ferris as well, because that looks like a good one. And Telltale just thought it was a sign. All right. And Adrian Robinson says, I'm getting in the house. All right, cool. Just whenever you're ready, I am here for you. And we got all right. We got the big dog in the building tonight. All right. It says, take off the wait. Take off the blazer. Loosen up the tie. Superman is alive. Welcome to the show, Mitch. So happy to have you here. So Ferris, I'm just gonna start this conversation. I just want to read this conversation back and forth. I'll put 5 minutes and I'll read the conversation back and forth, and I will put and I'll throw in my color commentary in the middle of that. Because this is good talk. This is good talk. Let me save that. And Mitch also says, don't believe anything your earlobes capture. It's mostly backwards, and that gets up.
Message.
Listen up. All right. Your card says, "Do you, boo boo?" Let's see. Let's put that there. Put that there. Let's see. You guys are so silly. It's just something I don't. All right. Let's see here. And Mitch says, main character is Mitch. I will let you write the story as long as Mitch wins. The plot thickens. All right. And all right, so we got very sad guy with the ads I said my name. We gotta make our ends. All right. We gotta make our ends, Let's see. So Mitch is hilarious, man. I bet you never said that before, so I got nervous. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. All right. Let's see. And all right, I think all right, we're good. We are good. So we're going to do the first question. I started them all, right? So as I go through these questions, I will unstar them and as I go through this conversation, because it's going to be a good one, because it's about, coding project. So I think Ferris, is the coding project separate from the negotiations that you're going through? Just so I can know how to break down this question, all right? I think so. So I'm going to do it that way, right? So let's go with, and I'm going to actually keep the question on the screen as we go through it, because I do not want that to disappear on me. Let's go here and let's do that. All right, cool. So let's get started with our first question, which is from the chat. And then we will go from there, right? So let's do here. So Ferris says, I got a question. I will be working to collaborate with. Actually, no. Let me do it like this. Let me do it the right way. Right? We're gonna do it right here because we don't want to skip steps, right? So
Another one.
Ferris says, I got a question. I will be working to collaborate on a coding project for a group. What's the best way to contribute early on as I grow? So that is an excellent question, I must say. And I'm going to start our timer for that one. And let me make sure. Is there anything else? Yes, 2 separate words. All right, perfect. Just wanted to make sure. So, working on a coding project for a group. I guess first I would say, I think the biggest problem that when groups make when they start working on a project, right, is that they don't have any structure behind the group. And first, just add some context. I network with someone that has a group, small company that's looking to collaborate. All right, perfect. So the problem is that they don't necessarily have the right structure. They don't go through the necessary software development life cycle. Maybe they're not using the agile methodology. They kind of wild west it. And for me, I think that's going to be a big challenge because there's no order, there's no discipline. People are just kind of like doing things at their, like, when they have time, when they feel like it and stuff like that, as opposed to setting up an agile project, setting up a Jira board, and having, like, dedicating themselves to the actual project so they can actually make progress on it. I would say I think, I speak to Ferris all the time. I think that you have a very structured approach to the thing that you do, and you're able to think through. You're able to map things out. So I think the first thing in collaborating on this coding project is to make sure that they have a good structure. So, like, make sure, like, find out their dedication level too. Like, how committed are they to getting this done? Because the way that I run my coaching group is that we're using Scrum. We do 2-week sprints, and every 2 weeks at the end of every 2 weeks we do our Scrum night where we do our sprint review, our retrospective to see how things went, went well, what didn't go so well, what we could do better. And then we do our planning where we start our next sprint. And I think that implementing that structure now, not having people just do whatever they want, writing good user stories, right? Writing good user stories so that we know exactly what the outcome that we're looking, having a roadmap as well. Like, what is it that we're trying to build? Having good understanding, having good documentation. I think that right there, like that's going to help with those soft skills, those people skills and things like that, where you're going to have a nice and neat project as opposed to people just doing what they want and there's no structure, there's no order. There's I'll give you an example. I was able to get one of my coaching members connected to a startup, right? As a way to build experience. Now, the problem is that we're ready to move and things like that, while the startup is like super slow, very not the best organized, and it makes it tough. So I think that part is going to be super, super helpful to you, because now you're like not necessarily managing the project, but making sure there's structure and things like that. Now it also depends on the code base that you're going to be doing. If you're doing Python, then I think that you're well on your way to learning Python and things like that. But also getting more familiar with the different parts of Git, checking out code, checking in code, things of that nature. Let me see. It just depends on it really depends on your role in the project as well. I think as you find out more information, there can be like more details to be provided. Ferris also said, okay, maybe I can give it structure, agile, security for the SDLC and code reviews. I think that's awesome. I did ask about user stories and stuff too, and seems they don't use that. So yeah, as I learn more, code more. Yeah, that's see. How did I know? How did I know that they don't use user stories and stuff? Because that is for me, I would absolutely refuse to work with anyone who doesn't want to have structure, because how do you know what you're going to be doing? How do you know what you're going to be reviewing? How do you know what's going to be the expected outcome of the work that you're supposed to be doing? So I would say you really want to push that. And if they don't like it, then they're not software developers, engineers, whatever they want to call themselves. It's like, for me, that is part of being a software engineer, software developer. You have, even if you're learning, the same way when you are working through the Python course, and you have a list of things that you need to accomplish for that whatever that coding project is to be considered completed. Same thing. Like, you need to have what needs to be done and all the details that need to be implemented as part of it, in order so you can know that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I would say, like, whether they're doing Kanban or Scrum, fine. But I don't like, and this has bit me before in the past, I don't like working with people who aren't invested in whatever it is that they say that they want to do. And now you end up spending a bunch of time, energy, resources where you could definitely be doing something else, learning something else, and they're flaky. And then all of a sudden, people just stop showing up, and you put in all this time where you could have been, like working on the certifications that you're planning on getting. It could be learning Python. You could be playing Eden something, the game that you're playing now. Who knows? I'm not a game person, right? But so that's what I say. Be careful with your time. Make sure that they are committed to it. If you're going to be participating, and find, like, as you get more details, we'll talk about it some more. But that's what I would say for that one. All right. First, I plan to do OWASP, ZAP, web security, and Nessus Tenable vulnerability management. So it'll help me with some experience in VM, code management, and agile with security. Yeah, just be careful working with groups. I'm not like, well, anyways, let me not get into that. All right. Next up, let's get into Ferris's second question. We got, oh, wait a second. Do we have my guy in the, we have Antonio Watkins in the building. Says he's driving right now. He's trucking. Keep on trucking, but he's listening in. Okay.
I appreciate you.
Go out there and get it. Go out there and get it. Let me see. Did I miss anything in the chat before we get to the next question that Ferris had? Oh, did I? Oh, wait. Just 1 second here. 1 second here. We got me, myself, I. Me, myself, I. That's what it is. Me, myself, I. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Me, myself, I got it. I got it. Let me know I got it, right? Let me know I got it. But I think I got it. It says, good evening, Tech, Yakar, Mitch, and Ferris. Welcome. How are you doing tonight? How are you doing tonight? I got the timer. All right. And let's see. Let's go to, I think we got everything. Yeah. So, all right, let's get into the second question from Ferris. The second question from Ferris. Let's do, I don't even know if I did the, I don't know if I did. I think I did. Anyways, let's go to the second question.
Another one.
So Ferris also said, I negotiated this company for an increased pay and they want to do another interview after the offer letter. Is that normal? So I'm going to start off saying with this, right? Let's start the timer. I got you. So I'm going to say that if you negotiated after, then I think some of the terms that they were expecting may have changed. I don't know. I mean, all companies are different. I don't know if there's any like particular normal or not normal when it comes to salary negotiations. I mean, anytime you meet with somebody for whatever, I guess it could be considered as an interview, things like that. But let's see what your car's feedback was. Your car says they may be doing that to show upper management why they need to allocate more money for you in the budget. That's a good point, because it's like, all right, if they said that we wanted to pay X amount of dollars, and they say, okay, but I want this, and then you know what, this person is really good. They've been doing this type of work or whatever. Or maybe you're coming into a new company. So okay, yeah, this background, they could kind of be worth this much money, but we had already said to upper management that this is the offer that we're going to get. They want more. Let's say, okay, talk to the person. Let's see, what is it that they're going to be doing to get more money? Who knows, right? So I can see it. It's not like, it's not out of this world. Because at the end of the day, it's their company. They can do whatever they want with it, So, and Ferris says, they told me they're crunching the numbers. I just don't know if it's typical to do a round after the offer letter, but perhaps it is. So here's the thing, Ferris. At least in my mind, could be wrong, but at least in my mind. Or here's another question. Did they tell you what they were going to offer you? And then you're like, okay. And then they said the offer, and then you said, actually, I want more. See, because now it's like, all right, what we said we're going to offer, the terms of change. Let's see if that's the case. Let's see if we can figure it out, because they said they're crunching numbers. And they might also be saying, because they might be crunching the numbers, right? And they say, all right, because that interview might be to say, because they don't want to tell you, no, we can't do it, but they might be saying, all right, here's the deal. Right now, like today, we can't give you what you're asking for right now. But if you're willing to accept, and we'll put it in writing that in 6 months, we should be able to meet you what you're requesting and give you some type of bonus or something like that to make up for the past 6 months. But because a lot of times things get lost in communication, because so like, okay, this is what we're trying to offer you. Are you willing to take it? So you don't really know what they mean by quote unquote interview, if they're like going to say, oh, or like, whatever. So that's why I'm like, it's not uncommon if you were to say, okay, and then you say, oh, actually I want this. Or if they say, okay, this is the offer, and you say, actually I want, this much more. And they say, okay, let's talk about it so we can figure something out, because this is our budget, but we can do A, B, and C. So that's my thoughts behind it. It could be many things, but at the end of the day, like, you want what you want, they want what they want, And Ferris also said, I talked to the CEO, so don't think it's an upper management thing, but we will see. Did you talk to the CEO about the actual pay that you wanted, though? So that's the question. Was it about the pay that you wanted, and did they offer you less? Or like, because different conversation, and plus, the CEO does not is not in charge of the numbers either. Sometimes the HR department has a max limit of what can be done, and CEO could have probably override it if they really needed to. But so it's just a bunch of like legalese have to cross the T's and dot the I's. So let's see, so your car said the budget equals crunching the numbers. Who is conducting your interview? So so that's what I mean. I agree with your car on that. It's like there's so many different moving pieces because the CEO is not going to be your manager. You know what I mean? The CEO is not going to be the one to officially like sign everybody's check, because imagine if the CEO could just override everybody's pay because he had a conversation with them, then they're not going to be the most effective CEO. You know what I mean? So that's just my thoughts about that. And it says, yeah, I know it means budget. Shift lead is the position. Shift lead is the position or the person conducting the interview. It says, that's them trying to approve it right away. You will get it. Prayers up for you. Prayers up for Ferris. And Ferris said, yeah, I mean, I got the job. It's just a matter of approving it. No worries either way. I'm content with whatever I get since it's a second. Talk about being overemployed. A second job. So, but yeah, so I totally get it. And lastly, but I like to try for highest range, so no regrets. We never have any regrets over here.
Let's get it.
All right. And let me see if there was anything new that came in. Let me unstart these because we have read all of those. See if anything new that came in about that before we move on to our first question of the night. Let's see. Let's see. And all right. So Ferris says context range 20 to 25 for the road. They gave me 23.50. I argued for 25 within their range. All right, that's not that big of a difference. That's all right. That's not that big of a difference. So it should be within the budget in the first place. I didn't ask over the range. They didn't tell me before. Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah. Mitch says he would have said about 30. Mitch would have said 35 because he shoots from 35. All right, and you're rich. I'm gonna need $2 now. All right, I'm just saying. And CEO can definitely override it, but they try not to get involved in that. Exactly. And versus, I wasn't concerned since it's lower than the main job. Apparently, the CEO does handle the numbers. Okay, all right. All right, and good thing is it's not the main job. So if you get it, cool. If not, cool. Interview by HR for screening, then manager, then CEO. Last shift lead for final nego. Okay, so got you. So the shift lead is the one who's doing the final. All right, got you. Because and they might be like, all right, if we give you this 25 that you're asking for, or if we give you 28, can you also do this? About responsibility. Like we're gonna give you 23.50 to do this for 25, 26, 27, 28. Can you also do this? It's a tit for tat. A tit for tat. All right. Let's see. Cool. All right. So that is that question from our good friend Ferris. All right. Let me check the chat real quick and see what we've got going on. Let me see. So first and foremost, let's just say where is it? Me, myself, I said, I'm well relaxing after my 12-mile walk. And less emphasis on self and merge the I with self. Me, myself, I. Oh, wait, less emphasis on self. Me, myself, I. I'm trying out here, right? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna go watch one of your videos after this so I can because I'm so close. I feel like I'm so close to it, but just so far, just so far. But shout out to that 12-mile walk. All right, so let me see. Telltale woke. Oh, wait a second. Your card says Ralph was about to start talking about lazy people who play victim in tech. I don't talk about anyone, Yakar, because guess what? I quite frankly don't care.
Bruh.
Because why? We are too busy winning.
We the best.
We're too busy winning because you know.
I mean, all we do is win, man. You know that.
All we do is win. We don't got time to be, oh my goodness, this happened to me and that happened to me. Whatever. We take life and we manipulate it to our liking. All right. So Telltale Woke says, I'm actually going to tackle Python and programming after my interview prep. Any words of advice? It's been a boogeyman of mine. A boogeyman of my tech journey, but I like Bash, so maybe I'm overreacting. You certainly are overreacting because how do you eat an elephant? Yes, an elephant. You eat it, Telltale Woke, one bite at a time. And the same way that Ferris started learning Python on his stream, and he's like, what are you at, like day 8 or 9 or something like that, Ferris? But he started learning Python on his stream. The same course that I took that Ferris is taking. You just have to get started, and you are in the Patreon. So if you have a question, just send me a message and then I'll get to it and I'll give you a response and then you keep moving. Keep moving. And if you ever want, then you just upgrade your tier and then we tackle it together. I learned Python 2 years ago. And then the company I started working for yesterday, their QA is primarily done in Python. Their code base is like their software, like their development code is in C#, but the code base for QA is in Python. And I'm probably one of the best people over there when it comes to like the figuring things out and automation and stuff like that. So have no fear. Have no fear because you've got this. They
ain't believing us.
But here, the tech savages, we believe in you. No, nothing, absolutely nothing to worry about. You got this. All right, let's see what else we got. That's what they do for Mitch. What are you talking about? All right, let's see. All right, let's get to it. I'm buffering. Am I buffering? Oh my God, I'm not buffering. Let me see. Let's see what's going on. Switch. Are we good? Are we good? That is a great question, Mitch. That is a great. Why is you guys tell me when I'm buffering? It wasn't buffering for me. That's a great question, Mitch. Why y'all don't tell me when I'm buffering? You know, Mitch is a real one. All right, let me also do this one other thing to make sure we don't have any more issues tonight. Where are you? All right. We should be good for the rest of the night. All right, cool. So let me refresh this. Cool. We should be good to go. Let me know if anything else happens, but I think we're good. I think we are good. I know, Mitch. I know, Mitch. I know. See, that's why you're the VP of data, because once you see the data looking funny, you'd be like, hey, stop the show, stop the presses. We gotta fix it. All right. But we're here. We are back. All right. Let's keep going. Let's get to, I guess this is going to be our third question, since we had the first two questions for Ferris. And let me fix this thing. And Adrian Robertson, if you want to call in, feel free to call in and we can have a conversation as well. Let me change this back to 60. All right, cool. Let's get to our third question of the night. All right. Let's go right about here or here.
Another one.
So the first question of tonight starts off with, if I could start over again, right? So you are 27 years old. What would you do if you were to do it all over again? I need some mentorship in my life. Goals to become rich AF. All right. So, well, that's an interesting goal. So I think, okay. Anyways, so the interests are coding and software, general finance and stock market, cooking, yes. I have a YouTube channel sharing recipes, fashion, probably a nothing burger here, but thought I'd mention it anyways, gaming, education, no degree, just high school. What paths would you recommend me to find success? Go back to school, some courses, etc. Where can I find opportunities to upskill? I am open-minded, so almost nothing is off the table. See, that almost always worries me. Right? Just need a place to start over. So that is a pretty good question. I think a lot of people have that question. So let's start a timer. If I could start over at 27. Well, I think 27 is a little bit too late. I mean, for me at least, because at 27, I was actually working in QA at that time. But for me, I would probably, I think I mentioned it in a kind of conversation, that I would have, quote unquote, started over at like 15 years old. Yeah. I probably would have made better decisions when I was a teenager on looking into what I really should be doing and wanting to do, finding out what computer science is and all that type of stuff. Make better college decisions, right? Make better college decisions, and really like focus. And oh my God, college was dumb for me. Like I wasted so much time playing Madden, and it was bad. It was a big waste, right? But I would say that at 27, it's not too late. You still have some time, but definitely if you're interested in coding and software and you have the ability to go to school, because a lot of these people will say, oh, you don't need to go to school, which is true. But I just think that you put a barrier up. So like if there's a wall built for you getting to where you want to get to, and the wall gets taller and taller, or you get shorter and shorter based on all the obstacles you have in your way to get there. So if so, let's look at your goals, right? Coding and software. So with no degree, with just high school, are you able to do like to write code and to do software? Yes, you can. Now, what are you able to get with it? It depends on what courses you take. I would say, all right, at 27, with no degree, just high school, you're lost. I would say go sign up for community college. If you have the ability to. I'm still breaking. Am I really still breaking up? Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. Let me see here. I shouldn't be breaking up. It should be fine. Hold on. Let me see. I wonder if it's YouTube or if it's me. See? Look. My internet is fine. I don't know if it's YouTube or what, but it's weird. Not sure why I'm breaking up. Is it breaking up for everyone? I don't know. It's weird. But let's keep going. All right. Anyways, let's keep going. So what I would, if at 27, I would say if you can go to community college. Also take your online courses. For me, this is what I say. Like, if you can, go to community college to start getting into tech and things like that. Also, sign up for your Udemy course. Maybe like whatever language you're going to be learning in community college, learn that first on your own before you even start. That way, it's going to be easy for you to pass the classes. That's the mistake that I think I made when I was going to college. I didn't know what I was getting into, and if I had a better understanding of what I was walking into, I would have been so prepared for it. And it would have been a cakewalk. And who knows where I would have been now. Not saying that I'm in a bad spot now, but it would have been a total cakewalk. Because for me, preparation is key. But I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know what I was getting into. Now, looking back, it makes a lot more sense for me. And so that's why, like, at least for me now, with my kid, already having him around the technology, he's able to navigate through all these different technologies. As soon as I see that he's able to comprehend, like, using some kids coding stuff, he's going to be sitting right here next to me, working through, like, understanding how to code loops and if statements and stuff like that, so that it can be instilled in them at an early age. I think that's the mistake that we make, is that we have interest, but we have no guidance or direction for our interests. And at 27, it's not too late. You can definitely learn something, and you can work your way into a tech field. I always say, try to start off with some type of help desk or technical support. Answering calls, helping people troubleshoot is going to give you a good mindset on how to figure things out, and it's just going to make you that much better at whatever you end up doing in tech. If you want to go into QA, or you want to go into business analyst, if you want to go into maybe product management, something to that extent. So many different things that you can do. The sky is certainly the limit. And then for general finance and stock, read a book. Join us on Saturday mornings with me, Mitch, Yakar, everybody else for the Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate show, where we review this general finance, economic data, all that good stuff. Cooking on YouTube, hey, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. Fashion, but start off with one thing, focus on one thing first, get really, really good at that, and then start to expand, because a lot of times we are very, very scatter-minded, and we are just all over the place, and that doesn't help us out. And that way we try to do everything, and we get absolutely nothing done. So that is certainly not our goal. So I think definitely having structure, organization, focus, definitely focus is going to help you with all that. All right. So that being said, we're going to wrap that question up. All right. Let's see what the chat is talking about. All right. Let me see. All right. So Adrian said, I've been applying for jobs to get out of the trucking field to different jobs in IT help desk so I can go back to school. I'm 34. Okay. Let's see. What do I need to do? All right. Let's see. So what type of, let me see what Mitch said. So Mitch said, do you have an idea of what you want to do? That's similar to what I was going to say. Software developer. Okay. And it says, Mitch says, do you already have those skills? And Adrian said that his brother is in IT. His brother is in IT. His dad is 30 years IT, but they won't really tell me what to do. I've been a top IT help communications company. All right, let me see. It says, that's sad. Ralph would be better to answer that for you. I have some thoughts, but that's more as well. All right. Let's see. So, it says, I don't have the skill. I don't know how to do anything. I've been able to do stuff before on a computer, like basic things with Windows. I have a bachelor's degree in sociology. All right. Does your current job have software developers? That's a question I always ask. I was able to figure out how to work OBS on my own. I understand what the code method. I don't. I drive trucks. My mom got me in a free class to get it and got the whole story. I got the whole story. If you want to call in, Adrian, feel free to call in. We can talk about it. Let's see. But to start answering the question that you asked, so let me just go back to the first question. Now that we have some additional context, and we can make that a question. We can make that a question for tonight. Let's go to, all right. So let's go with this one. And we will start our questions.
Another one.
So Adrian says, I've been applying for jobs to get out only the trucking field to different jobs in the IT help desk area so I can go back to school. And Adrian is 34. All right. So what to do? What can you do? All right. So there's so many different parts of that. I think in context, there's going to be some different factors that we need to consider. Is like, all right, what area that you're in? Because so many people are going to be applying for those entry level roles to try to get into tech, and it's because it's entry level. It's going to be so many different people who are going to be applying for it. I think that the first thing that I would do is first you wanna see, all right. Look for here's my blueprint to doing this, right? First, you got to get a list of maybe about 10 different help desk roles. Preferably, I would look for local roles to your area, because if you try to get remote, especially for entry level, it's going to be so hard to get. It's going to be like a needle in a haystack because everyone wants remote. And honestly, I think that most of those remote job postings don't ever end up hiring anybody. So I would say I'll do a search on LinkedIn for either hybrid or on site. And I would look for like 10 of those job postings, see what exactly the requirements are for those positions. And once you do that, you are going to see, okay, what skills do I currently have that meet this job description, and what skills am I lacking? And now we're going to start researching, okay, how can I actually obtain those skills? So do I need to take some type of online course? Do I need to take a course at the community college? Should I go back to school, to community college, so that I can get started, and that way on my resume can show that I'm currently going to school for X, Y, and Z. I have these skills. I've taken whatever these courses are, so that I can actually be able to have a conversation with the recruiters in interviews and things like that. And then based on my learnings, maybe you're taking a Udemy course or Coursera course, whichever. Maybe it's a course careers. I'm not too familiar with course careers, but I know that Ferris speaks highly of them. Go through that, and then now, as you're going through that, you're continuing to apply for different positions. I didn't start the timer, right? I didn't start the timer, but whatever. We don't need a timer on this one, right? But we continue to apply, and then you have to continue to build your skills. And while you're doing that, like, start to learning coding. I always say, I used to say, Java's probably more popular, but Python is easier to learn. I say just go with Python and get started off with, because that is the easiest one to learn, and then you can upscale from Python to other stuff. So if your ultimate goal is to become a software developer, then you want to join Ferris on his streams if he ever starts it again, learning Python, and do it with him, or see what he's doing, and then you spend the time, like you say, all right, I'm going to make Ferris my unofficial accountability partner, and I never want Ferris to get ahead of me. So I'm always continuing. I'm always, it's like I'm either on track or I'm ahead of schedule. We never want to be behind schedule. Set a time frame. Set your Trello board, so that you can easily track your progress, and you can say, all right, set your deadlines. Set realistic deadlines, but set your deadlines so that you can grow in the field. And as you're doing these different things, and you're able to articulate in interviews on your LinkedIn, set up a LinkedIn profile that demonstrates the things that you're learning and that you're doing, so that you can. It's not going to be easy, but it'll be easier to actually land the position, because you have to do what other people are not willing to do, and that's what the companies are going to be looking for. That makes you stand out. Do what other people aren't willing to do to get what you want. And then at some point you're going to start networking, and you're going to start all that. But definitely look for on-site locations, look for hybrid roles that are near you, that you can work in a building and you can actually communicate with people who are actually doing the job. But you just have to get your foot in the door. The number one goal is to get your foot in the door, even if it has to be lower than the help desk role, whatever it is, to get your foot in the door, and then work your way up from there. That would be my biggest recommendation. That's going to help you get into the IT field, whether it's help desk or not yet, but whatever it is, get yourself in there and then grow from there. It's easier to grow from within than to grow from outside. All right. All right. Let me check what the chat is saying. Let's see. I feel like you might have to do a whole segment for people like me. Let's see. It says he drives trucks, so least of his worries. I would assume right now it's remote. Just have to get in. Yep, just have to get in. That's the thing. And Ferris is on LinkedIn. Filter by has less than 10 applicants and apply on the company website. That's a good point, Ferris. Cliche, but reach out to local recruiters. I had one excited because no one reached out to him before and invite him to coffee. So he was excited just for that. Okay. Look at Ferris with the tricks. Let's see. Also, to gain the terms you can learn on YouTube. Yep, you can do that. Let's see. It says it was cool, didn't go anywhere, but it was a vibe. All right. You see, recruiters there's been recruiters who reached out to me and say, hey, we should get some lunch because we want to talk to you. I'm like, all right, cool, we can do that. It says Mitch agrees. Mitch rarely agrees with me, but he agrees. Yay. Definitely, once you get in, it is so much easier to network inside. All right. So Yep, that's how we got to do it. That is how let me check something real quick. Is my Twitch stream still up? It is not up anymore. That's a bummer. That's a pity. Anyways, let's keep going. All right, I think we are on our next question. Let's see. Mitch says, before we get to our next question, I don't want to be in cyber, but even today I spoke to some cyber people at my job just to network. It's way easier to do because you actually have access to the people. You're not a stranger anymore because I told you the story the other day. When people just approach me randomly, like, what in the world do you want? Especially, but if you are within the company, people are more accepting, more inviting, and all that good stuff, right? So definitely agree with Mitch on that one. All right, let me get this thing back to how it was. All right, so let's get to our next question of the night.
Another one.
Messed around and got fired today. So this one reads, what's fired today? Got fired from my security guard job today, 3 months in, and it hit me pretty hard. I started this job right after getting my NSW1A security license, which I jumped into 4 months after finishing high school. I chose security because I thought it would be stable and not too demanding, like something I could handle. I have low self-esteem and doubt my capabilities in any work environment. Then you got to come and join the tech barbarians to put some confidence back in you, buddy. All right. Instead of starting with simple foot patrols to learn the layout of the mall, they threw me into CCTV operations right away, which you don't get trained for when you learn to be a security guard at all. It was overwhelming because it was a huge responsibility and I didn't have much experience even just walking the floor. Managing the camera, guiding other guards, and dealing with calls was a lot. And pretty soon, my managers noticed I wasn't keeping up a month in. They tried to help me improve by moving me between the control room and the floor to upskill. I even had to sign an agreement that I'd have to work on being clearer and louder on the radio and the phone. They also put him on a PIP. A PIP is short for Performance Improvement Plan.
Bruh.
Your car is not a fan of PIPs. He just wants to get rid of you. But I'm a little bit more graceful than your car. I'll put you on a PIP. All right. So they gave me 2 weeks to show improvement. Turns out I didn't meet their standards, and just 3 months in, they let me go. The job exasperated my anxiety and depression, and I had to get medicated to manage it. I was also starting to feel unfulfilled in my job after 3 measly months. So they feel unfulfilled, but they also had anxiety and depression and had to get medicated from being released from a security guard job at the local mall. When I was fired, they did say I did some awesome things at my job and that it was a pleasure working with me and that I had plenty of time to figure things out, which was nice. I mean, you're about maybe 18, 19 years old at the end of the day. Feeling really down about it because if I can't make it in the job, I thought it would be simple. I'm worried about aiming for anything higher like cybersecurity or video editing. All right. So let's just pause for a second right here, right? Let's pause for a second. Cybersecurity and video editing are two totally different things. I don't see how the two are connected between like aiming for something higher like cybersecurity or video editing. I'm just saying. All right, let's continue. Right? Which I'm interested in, but seems way more intense and requires a lot more intelligence than being a floor guard, which I feel incompetent enough at that. I'm 19. Oh, okay, 19. And seeing everyone else at my age going to university and figuring things out already makes me feel even worse, like I'm already far behind. Oh my God. Oh, not that one. I wanted this one. All right. So let's start a timer. Right? So you remember in the prior question, not the first question, but the prior question, when they asked at 27 years old if I could start something over. And I said, actually, for me, it would probably be about 15 years old. Remember that? This is why. So while at 19, you still have plenty of room, but why? Okay. Why is it that this generation, they're going through so much depression at 19 years old, and anxiety and depression and getting medication and they're talking about being fulfilled at a job? Like, why is there so much weight on your shoulders at such a young age? See, part of the problem though is that and I don't know about security guard jobs whatsoever, but I'm going to say this. We always expect to learn stuff on the job instead of learning stuff on our own. So, for instance, let's say I am 19 years old, thinking about with my current mind, right? If I'm 19 years old on this job and I suck, yes, I say I suck at CCTV, then what I would do is, in order to get better at it and not go into this ball of depression, is I would say, all right, so Mrs. Manager, I am terrible at CCTV. Can I stay extra off the clock so I can be better on how this works? Because I never had training before in it. So I don't want to be missing stuff. I don't want to be working in the company for a whole month or so and I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. So can I like after my shift, can I stay off the clock and shadow the people who are working CCTV? Or can I come early? Can I stay late so I can shadow and I can get some more experience so that I can do this right? And while I'm shadowing, do you mind if I actually take the control so that the person who is an expert in it can tell me what I'm doing wrong? Like, they're the ones who's still doing the job because they're looking, but I'm trying to get better at this so that I can say, okay, I'm doing this. Oh no, you're doing this wrong. Look for this, look for that. So they can actually give me these different pointers and stuff like that. That way you are actually signing up for mentorship indirectly. You're signing up for mentorship indirectly. So many times we expect things to be handed to us, and I say this over and over and over again. Nobody owes you anything. The job doesn't owe you anything, except for your paycheck if you actually do the job, you know? But nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you training unless you pay for it. Nobody owes you mentorship unless you pay for it. Nobody owes you protection unless you pay for it. Nobody owes you anything. So if you want to get ahead, then you're going to have to sacrifice. Sacrifice your time, sacrifice money, sacrifice going to the movies, sacrifice whatever it is that you do for fun. Because you want to get somewhere. And this goes way beyond working as a security guard on foot patrol or on CCTV at the mall. But everything that you go through, it's your responsibility on the outcome. So your work ethic, it's not about skill. Nothing is ever about skill. Skill helps, but it's all about work ethic. Your work ethic is going to determine whether you're going to get into cybersecurity or do video editing. It's not about does it require it's more intense or it requires more intelligence. No. See, some people get mad when you call them lazy, but it's about are you lazy? It's not about being incompetent as a floor guard. You didn't do the extra work that you needed. So this is just the typical I got the certification. Is that enough for me to get a job? It is absolutely not. A certification is absolutely not enough for you to get a job. The same way that taking a course or completing a boot camp is not enough for you to get a job. How many hours outside of class, outside of work are you putting in? If you have, they say it takes you at the very least, 10,000 hours before you start to master something. I'll tell you this. Some moves that I learned in jiu-jitsu on my very first week, over 4 years ago. This June 3rd made 4 years this year since I started, right? Yeah. Some moves that I learned 4 years ago, I just started to be able to do them. And not even that well, but I've just started to be able to do them. Because you're starting to see things, your mind is starting to open up. You're starting, like, the repetition as well that you put in. I can't even count how many classes I've done in the past 4 years. You know? So all the different, like, if I'm going to love it or hate it, right? Guess what? You might hate this. You might absolutely hate this, but
It doesn't matter what you think.
if you're not putting in at least 20 extra hours a week to get to where you say you want to get to, then you're not serious about it. So that means if you're working 40-hour shifts, 50-hour shifts, if you're not putting an extra 20 hours a week to get where you say you want to be, if you're not where you want to be, right? You're not putting in an extra 20 hours a week. That's additional 80 hours a month. Then you are not. You're not serious. You're not serious, right? So that's my thought. Love it or hate it. We're still on top. We are still on top. And on that note, that is that question. All right, let's see what the chat has to say. They might make a video about me for this. They might make a video about me for this one. All right. Let's see here. Mitch was questioning this question. So he says he got laid off, not fired. I think he got fired. Let me get this off the screen. I think he got fired, Mitch. To me, that's a fire. Because a layoff is like when we can't, like, a layoff is like not due to your own fault, I would say. But a fire is like you can't do the job, so you're out of there. 3 seconds, you're out, right? Because they put them on a PIP. So when you get put on a PIP, you don't get laid off, you get fired. That's my thoughts, right? And Ferris says, honestly, what's the difference between laid off and fired? Just the benefits you get from it post termination, or what's the legality of it? I think like if you get fired with like cause, you might not be able to collect unemployment. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure about the unemployment stuff. But yeah, usually with getting laid off, there's a severance involved and stuff. It depends on the company at that, right? But there's different things that come up with a layoff. But the end result is still usually the same though. But that's a good question. And says he was like, Ralph, when he started YouTube, could hear a pin drop. It was quiet back there for real. It says, in reality, it's the same, but a lot of times laid off is out of your hands, i.e. mass layoffs. Yes, you got fired, but it's different. Yeah, it's different. It's different. It says, when he is 30, he will say, I'm happy that job fired me. Maybe not. It says, depression because of social media. Quite possibly. If you're depressed, I learned touch grass. Okay. It says, laid off refers to outside influences being the reason. Fired refers to you. Yes, you being the reason, right? You control getting fired. You don't control getting laid off. But I do say about layoffs though, make yourself as valuable as possible. Do the things that other people aren't willing to do, so that not only that you upskill and you grow, but you are not like, you want to make yourself like, you know what, if they do, like if they were not to have me here, they're going to lose a very, very big portion of, they're going to lose a very big portion of it, right? So layoffs are normally outside of your control, but it's, I still think you need to position yourself so you're not like, oh, who's going to go? Oh, that person is definitely going to be the first one to go, you know? So just my thoughts. And let's see. Very said, that makes sense. It seems like companies are using it interchangeably or as an excuse to cut costs without the firing legal impact. Not sure, just an observation. I mean, possible. And restructure is layoff. Yes, like whenever they restructure, it's a layoff. And Ferris says, my certs matter. So I'll say this: your certs do matter as much as your skills matter. Because actually, no, I say your skills matter way more than your certs. Because if you have the certs but you can't do anything, then honestly, Ferris, you're useless. If that's the case, right? Don't tell anybody I said that. I'm telling you that in confidence, with all due respect. If you do not have the skills to match the certs, then you are maybe quite useless. I'm just saying, with all due respect, all right? And 4 years of choking people out. I wish it was 4 years of choking people out, but I would say it was probably a good 3 years of me getting choked out and then a good half a year of me doing the choking. I'm just saying, I'm just going to be honest. I'm just being honest, all right? And it says, then you are not engineered to win. And it says, oh, Gen Z reference didn't work. Touch grass means get off the social media and turn off the computer and go outside. Oh, okay, that makes sense. See, I had no idea what that meant, but that makes perfect sense. Go outside and touch the grass. I thought you were talking about something else. I was like, Ferris, this is not your after hour stream, right? I'm just saying, all right? And it says, make yourself as valuable as possible so you last the longest and train the people who are replacing you for a lower wage. That escalated quick. I did not see that one coming in your car. Okay. And let's see. Mitch says, I have a question. Do you think the job market will pick back up soon? Well, I'll put it like this, right? I'll put it like this, Mitch. I think on November 6th, you will know if the job market is going to pick up or not. Because it could be that taxes on companies are going to be going to 40 to 50%. Or it could be that they're going to be lowering the corporate tax on companies and a bunch of other taxes, making the USA friendly for business, you know? So I think it's possible if that's what they really want. But if they want to demonize corporations and stuff like that and have them go for the lowest cost and outsource and have inflation run amok and then have a spiral into a depression or a recession, I might have exaggerated, then, you know, I think the policies have a lot to do with it. It's not the end all be all, but the policies are very, very related to how the job market is going to go. You know, it's like right now the unemployment rate shows it's like 4% or something like that, but it's teetering though, because one big explosion and it is going all down the drain. Which is, what if you have skills and no certs, but you can't get an interview? How are you? Okay, here's my question. How are you showing your skills? Because a lot of people, they have quote unquote skills, but they don't market it anyway. They don't they don't show their project. All they do is, oh, here's a link to my GitHub. I'm not gonna go through your 1,000 line of code trying to figure out what you're doing there, right? How do you market? I tell my tech barbarians, which I'm probably gonna end up reviewing. One of my tech barbarians wrote a Medium article as a way to market them, so they'll probably review that on Thursday. But it's, how do you market yourself? another one of them, they made a video about their learnings, like using API testing, but see, they're not very consistent with it because they are hard-headed. They are hard-headed, all right? You know? They're great, but you can't have everything. You can't. But so I always have to get out like, hey, are you doing what you're supposed to do? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? All right. So that is the thing. It's all about like, there's so like getting a job is not just applying. There are so like you have to attack. Like, here's a question. And this is why on this channel, a lot of the themes are very war related. Except for my thumbnails, your car. Except for my thumbnails. All right. It's a different story. That is a different story, right? But a lot of the theme is like war related. Like if you look at the background, it's always like war related because I am always at war. And what is one of the top factors of war? It's strategy. So it's all about strategy. So if you are going into battle, you don't only have one plan of attack because if you do, then you're gonna lose. Right? You like for me at least, and I'm not a military minded person or anything like that, but I'm all about strategy. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to make sure my resume is good. I'm going to make sure that I'm able to show the different things that I'm working on, that I'm still learning, that I'm reaching out to people. It's like it's all about marketing. See, getting a job now it's different than how it used to be. Now it's all about marketing. How do you market yourself? Ferris will tell you that his project that he does land some jobs. He'll record the video and post it on LinkedIn, and they're like, "Oh wow, look at this." And why is it that Ferris can get 3, 4, 5 different interviews, and other people who are trying to do the same thing he does struggle to get one, never can get a response? Because Ferris markets himself. He puts in extra work. While other people, they just let me just apply, and then let me go to the movies. You know? So that is what I'm saying is part of the problem. That's what it's. You have the skills, but prove to me your skills. To me, the search don't prove a skill. They just prove that you know how to pass a test, but prove to me your skills, all right? And the car says, I think the job market is going to be a restructuring. I don't think it will ever bounce back and we will be what it used to be. Food and energy will never be as low as it used to be. I'm going to say this though. We did think about, well, see, the car lives in California, so that's a little different story. But we thought that we would never see low gas prices again. And I remember about 6 years ago, it did, actually no, it was 4 years ago, actually. It was like right in the middle of the pandemic. I saw gas for like $1. I bought gas out here in South Florida for $1.86. I was like, what? I felt like buying like 3 or 4 more cars just so I could fill my gas tank. Because I was so surprised at the price, you know? But who knows? Who really knows, right? We shall see. We shall see. Because your car is always right. So I'm, you know? And the numbers be manipulating. And Fair says, I've been thinking about making a Medium blog and just posting projects on there since there's SEO and can be used for recruiters to find people or hiring managers. There you go. Your car is like AI baddies. GitHub is nice, but it has its limits. I don't like, I tell you this, I am not going to go looking through someone's code on GitHub for their portfolio. We need to be talking about something and like something in particular, or like maybe if you're doing some type of technical project, I'll look at your GitHub, but I'm not going to be like just navigating your GitHub. I do say though, if you have an interview, look through the person's interviewing you to see if they have a GitHub and use that as a topic of conversation as well. You know, just saying. I'm just a strategist. AI baddies replacing real baddies. they were engineered to win. It says, you can't take her to work, but you can pull up in a Porsche. That's take her to what? Just like they don't want to see your line of code. Just the work. Okay, so you can't take her to work, but you can pull up in that Porsche and take her to Soho house, and she'll know. Just like just like they don't want to see your line of code, just the work and the results of it. Yes, yes. Wasn't a 1.86, wasn't a $1.86. It was a glitch out at the pump. I'm telling you, I paid. That's how much I paid for it. Here during the vid, gas was 90 cents. I was like, man, okay, all right. Says the ads coming every 10 seconds. Hey, I did not do that. I did not do that. Let's see. I honestly, the live streams ads don't make as much as the other ads. I'm just saying. All right. Let's see. And I have to make sure my spelling is right all the time. Now Ralph is making me nervous. You never know. You never know, Mitch. You never know when your name will be the headline. All right. So let's get to another question. So let's get to this one. I should have named this one Devs Just Want to Have Fun, but I don't know what I named it. Let's see what we got.
Another one.
Developers don't want to use user stories. This one should have been named Devs Just Want to Have Fun, right? But it says developers don't want to work with user stories. I have joined a new company as a QA lead, and the developers in the team don't want to work with user stories, but only want technical tasks based on the input from the architects. This makes the full model into waterfall style because the front end, back end, SAP layer, etc. are integrated at a very late stage, and the deployments are also into different applications. The testing is done at the end, and the whole test campaign takes a few weeks to complete. Oh my God, what's going on here? The developers don't want to change to working with the user stories with the full end-to-end functionality because it doesn't make sense for them, and they are not used to working with the end-to-end stories and feel that it will be a waste of time. I have never seen such a setup in the last 12 years, and I am not sure how to make developers understand the value of user stories and delivering in smaller increments. Any ideas or suggestions? Well, let's get our clock started. And the very, very first suggestion that I have for you is hide your wives, hide your kids, run for your life. So usually I would be like, oh, this is a great opportunity and stuff like that. But this sounds like a show. This is like when you have did they say how many developers? They didn't say how many developers, right? So they didn't say how many developers, right? But it is not, I repeat, it is not QA's job to switch a team's approach from terrible to agile. That's the job of upper management. That's the job of the scrum master. That's the job of the product manager, product owner. And I would say, just go with the flow, apply every single day for a better position. And once they ask you, if someone asks you, oh, why are you leaving the company? You better be honest as hell. You're the developers didn't want to work with it. They wanted to go back to the waterfall method. They were stuck in waterfall. They were not looking to add value the way that thing should be. Nope. Not happening. Not happening whatsoever. Now, in the meantime, while you're there, you can try to recommend it and stuff like that. I don't know, because it seems like you're outpowered by all the other developers and the architects. And if the developers don't want to do things properly, there's only so much. like there's only so much power that because I believe that I have a lot of power as a QA engineer, as a senior QA engineer, right? But the people who write the code, the way that they work, they still are the ones who are doing the work. So I would say here's what I would say, right? You are not obligated to, like, you have no loyalty to the developers. If they want to work in a very primitive fashion, then you need to start having conversations with the Scrum Master, with your manager, with the product manager, and say, what are we doing? What the hell are we doing here? Is this a software company or not? Are we going to be not, are we planning to not deliver value to our customers? Do we care about our customers? And these are the questions that I'd be asking. Because I'll tell you this, there are a lot of developers out there who don't care about their customers. And that's why, a lot of people, when they talk about salary and stuff like that, they're focusing on base pay because they don't care about the equity. They don't care about the RSUs. They don't care about the ESPP, employee stock. What is it called? Employee. What does ESPP say? Or ESSP? Employee stock something program, right? Something like, I don't know, whatever it is, right? But you can buy stocks from your company. And now you have a vested interest in a lot of dev people, a lot of software developers, a lot of people in tech, they don't have a vested interest in the company that they work for. They just want to go to work, do what they want to do, and then get out. Go home, do whatever it is that they do. And I think with that happens, you don't care about your customer the way that you should. You don't care about your company the way that you should. And if you did, you would look for the most efficient ways to get more things done. I never think about it, it's just company money. Because I want to have a vested interest in the outcome. So I would say you try to raise the red flags as much as you can. But at the end of the day, if you see things aren't going anywhere, get out. Like the movie, Get Out. Because who knows where you will be in 6 months. All right. So be careful. I would not stay in a situation like that. You know me, don't threaten me with a good time, but this is not a good time. All right. There we go. Let's see. Is there anything in the chat for today? Let's see. Or for this time. Yeah, we got some, because I know this that one triggers your car, right? So it says, I was not stealing gas. I was not. And versus, what I say about people in Florida and people from the Bronx. Don't leave them out. Don't leave out the Bronx, Mitch. Don't leave them out. And see, now they're tag teaming. I thought you and I were Kane under, but I guess one of them did turn on each other. So I got you. Remember the time where Kane was with Stone Cold? Who would have thought that would have been a combination? Anyways, how can you be agile but not have user stories? Imagine a blank Kanban board. I can't even imagine it. It says, they must be the team updating Netscape 8.0. And their server room is full of floppy disks. Which floppy disk though, your car? Is it the 3.5 or the 5.0? Remember the 5.0? You're not going to believe this. I used to have to install Windows 95 from a floppy disk. I think there was about 30 floppy disks. And they'll tell you this. They'll say, all right, take out disk 1, put in this 2, and then it does this little thing, take out this 2, put in this 3, does this little thing, take out, and then so all the way to get to like 30, 35, right? And this was when I was like probably like 10, maybe 11. Let me see. Yeah, it was about like 10 or 11, maybe 12. Having a floppy disk to install Windows 95, and then when you try to when you have to put in this, so you get all the way to like 21, insert this 22, and guess what? I can't find disk 22. The struggle was real back then. Now you can just download Windows 95, or not Windows 95, but you can just download whatever Windows you need, Windows 95. And it says, Ralph is a hater. Yes, I am. I will happily admit it. I am a hater, right? I'm a hater. And you know what? Guess what? Guess what about it? Guess what about me being a hater?
You should know your role and shut your mouth.
I'm just saying. I'm a hater. I'm a hater, right? It is what it is. And it says, you know, I'm not trying to be from Jumanji. It says not the 5-inch floppy disk. And it says, just be trying to play sides. He's the one that breaks us up for fighting. Guy talking about the floppy disk. That thing was huge, man. How many did it take? It was in the 30s. It was definitely in the 30s for Windows 95. Those floppy disks. Yeah, you guys know Windows 95. We going back old school. See, Ferris are like, Windows 95. What is that? Mass storage, 172.5 kilobytes. Okay. You guys know how it goes. Anyways, we're going to do one last question for tonight because we had a mixture of questions from the chat as well as that I found, and we'll break that up. And then whatever we have left for this week, we'll roll it over to next week because guess what? The show does not stop. All right, so let's get to our last question of the night. Let's go to boom, and we're gonna go to
Another one.
scared, my startup will fail. I'm scared my startup won't break through because I have no technical experience. I will not. All right, so I found someone to back up my startup, but I'm scared because I have no technical experience. The startup is a solution for companies in green energy. Basically, we are looking to build a cloud-based platform to monitor and manage solar, winds, and solar and wind farms, energy storage systems, and other renewable energy assets. These companies will also have access to a data analytics dashboard with reporting tools to help them make data-driven decisions. So this sounds absolutely amazing, this idea. So amazing that I'm like, why are you sharing this with the world? And because I'll tell you this, if your car says, hey, I'm building this, I'm like, let's do it, your car. Let's do it. And we can forget about everything else. We're going to jump all in on this, right? Before you say, get a technical co-founder, my angel investor already has 25% shares, and he said he doesn't think I should have a co-founder for now. I don't want to let him down because he seems to believe so much in the success of the startup, but I'm scared it may not break through because of my lack of technical experience. How can I get it running successfully? Have you guys been in this situation before? What do you think I should do? I think that this is a great question from your car. I'm just saying. For your car, this is a great question for your car because he has a lot of experience in this. All right. But I'm going to do my best. You have no technical experience? Well, here's a question. The question is, we're going to get our timer started. Your last question of the night. Now, the question is then, do you need to be technical in order to have a startup? Because I've seen a lot of like startup-ish companies where the founder is not a is not a technical person, but they have a vision, they have an idea, and they get the people around them so that they can build whatever it is that they have. But they are the cheerleader, the spokesperson, the person who actually believes in this thing, and they get it done, they get it built. But although they might not be the one who's building it, that's one aspect. The other aspect, the other problem is if you have no technical experience and you're trying to get into this green energy thing, a cloud-based platform to monitor and manage solar wind farms. So I guess my question would be, do you at least have the experience in the solar and wind farms? Because if not, now you are behind a double 8 ball. You're behind a double 8 ball. It's like you're bowling and you have to and you have 2 pins to knock down, but they're on total opposite sides of each other. Now, are you able to get to hit those 2 pins? Anything is possible. I'm sure there's amazing bowlers who've done it before, but in your case, you never bowled before. You know? So now you could because you had the idea of getting a technical co-founder, but your angel investor said that who has 25% share says doesn't think it's a good idea. Now, here's the problem with that is, does your angel investor know that you don't know how to build what your idea? Because now, even if you get the knowledge to do this stuff, how long is it going to take you to actually get it and to be proficient enough to make it work in a good way? With your investor, are you able to hire somebody who can actually get it to work? And if you were able to hire somebody, would you be able to understand that they're making sure they're doing it accurately? Who would be doing the code reviews? So even though the angel, so the question is for this investor, right? Do they think that you have the capability of getting this done without anybody else? Or how much is it they're investing that you can pay somebody? Because equity goes a long way. My angel investor needs to turn into a silent partner. That's hilarious, Yakar. That is hilarious. But in all honesty, right? Right, Yakar, angels are not supposed to be seen nor heard, right? I'm just saying. So I think part of the issue is that you have someone who believes in your vision, including yourself, right? But you don't have a plan of execution. And I think all right, let's stop the presses. Stop the presses real quick. Is the angel investor your mother? I think that's a good question. Is the angel investor your mother? Is your mother telling you that it's not good to you shouldn't get a technical co-founder, or you shouldn't get a co-founder because your mother wants to be very, very proud of you and have you accomplish everything? See, I didn't think about that before. But if it's your mother who's the angel investor, and then I think you have to set the expectations to be a little bit more realistic. Because you can give somebody all the money in the world, but if you're only expecting them to do something that they cannot do, then it's not gonna work. Is the money that's being invested, is it 25% enough to pay for somebody? But to me, even if you're paying for somebody now, that's wasted money. Equity. So with this co-founder, what would be their percentage? Because now you might if you give this person 50% and the angel investor has 25%, and now you're stuck with 25% of your own idea of your own company. How are you going to work that out? So even if you had the technical skills, to build this stuff out, if you did have the technical skills, great. But even if you start to learn them, how long is it going to take you to actually get to where you need to be? as opposed to getting somebody who is an expert in the field of at least maybe the cloud. If let's say you know how to do the solar and wind farms, right? And they know how to do the cloud. So you guys work together to connect together. So it's really going to be you need the right resource. At the end of the day, you need to have the proper resources in place in order to accomplish anything. A jack of all trades, a master of none, that can't be you. And you cannot let your investor, because at the end of the day, they're just your investor, an investor for something that doesn't even exist yet. As the founder, the owner, the CEO, you're going to have to make tough decisions. How are you going to bring other people on to come on behind you? How are you going to do any of this? Because it's not going to be a two-person operation. And if you can't afford to pay people, the only way you can pay them, if you have no capital, the only way you're going to be able to pay them is in equity in them and buying into your vision. And you're going to have to give a portion of your company. Because, and when you give, to me, like, I love equity. Because with equity, it's going to make the person more committed to the vision instead of just being in it for a paycheck and be like, I don't care. I just want to get to 5 p.m., get it over with, and then go and, fly my drone after work. No. So you have some tough decisions to make. I don't think that paying somebody in equity to come on board, to have a vested interest in it, even if they're not necessarily a co-founder, but they have a vested interest so that they can make your dream a reality, and go from there. Right? But with that being said, that is our last question of the night. Let's wrap that question up with a nice little bow on top. All right, let's read the chat and we'll wrap it up for today. Let's see where we're at. All right. So, Mitch and your car were having a full-on conversation. Let's see. So, let's see. Whereas, like, I was even born in 95. Funny. All right. So it says, your card says, a digital song today is larger than 172.5. That's a fact. That is a fact. It says, so Mitch has already lost being scurred, already a negative mindset. But to be fair, after reading this whole thing, they like, this is them.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
Because they don't have the technical expertise and they're not sure how to bring them on. So they got to figure that out. Analytics. Yeah. Let's go to for the analytics out there. And it says, your card says, if you scurred, go to church and read the Bible and you will see 2 Timothy 1:7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Say it again. All right. This Steve Jobs wasn't technical. Gotta have someone who is tough. But I guess I have to find out a little bit more about Steve Jobs, because how did he come into the mix though? Right? How did he come into the mix? And your card says, but he knew enough compared to Tim Cook, who knows nothing. Wow. Shots fired. Hide your wives, hide your kids. And let's see, we read that one. And Mitch says in response, agreed. And you know how much I dislike Apple, but I have to. I mean, of course you're going to agree with that one when you're taking a shot at the current Apple CEO. Of course. That with all due respect, Mitch, that was sneaky. And because of that, you get a
Congratulations, you played yourself.
But that was a good one though. And your card says, my angel investor needs to turn into my silent partner. Say it again. Say it again. Secret, not silent. It says there's a difference. Most people don't know that. That's true. That is a great distinction. Investing and managing are two different titles. Elon Musk invested nothing into Tesla, but he sure does manage the out of it and tells the investors what they will do. Like run me my $40 to $68 billion compensation.
Money.
But to be fair to Elon Musk, he did agree to a zero base salary, and he said, I am betting it all on myself. And he delivered until he ran into the Delaware judge who said to Mr. Elon Musk,
How dare you?
how dare you accomplish what you said you would accomplish? And now we have to pay you, right? So it happens. Own nothing, control everything. The blueprint for success, all right? And Mrs. ask the people on Shark Tank how they work that out after they make the money. They are mad. They gave up so much equity in the company. I'm telling you, Mitch, they are like,
I'm in a bind, Nate.
so they go over to Shark Tank or whoever, they go over to the Payday Advance store. That's pretty much what, would you say Shark Tank is a Payday Advance, Mitch? I just thought about that. Would you say Shark Tank, literally the name, Shark Tank, right? Are they loan sharks on Shark Tank? Is Mark Cuban the biggest hustler out there? Mm-hmm. Should the theme song for Shark Tank be I'm a Hustler? I want to know. I want to know. All right. So, but yeah, let's keep going. And it says, why would you swim with the sharks? You're going to get bit. Oh my, did you guys see this? You know what? On Thursday, I have to remember to show this video of a bear that found its way into this kitchen of this restaurant. And then this lady was about to walk in and the bear attacked the lady, almost ripped her face off. Face off. Like the movie, right? And let's see. I never got what they didn't get it. I never got what they didn't get it. It's called Shark Tank. Does that sound like a place your precious lifetime of work belongs? I just put two and two right now. I'm like, Shark Tank, like Lone Shark Tank, you know? You remember the DMX? I sold my soul to the devil and the price was cheap. It was cold on its level and it's twice as deep. Remember that? Is that Shark Tank? Is that Shark Tank? See, I didn't know I could just quote. I can just quote these like this, right? That was the intro to Belly. When they were writing, and DMX is like, I sold my soul to the devil, and the price was cheap, and it's cold on this level, and it's twice as deep. That's also on it's either the flesh on my flesh, blood on my blood, or is it the Great Depression? Or X gonna give whatever the one with the big X on it. It was on one of those albums, right? But yeah. And Mitch says, when you're sitting around multi-millionaires and billionaires, what you expect? Hey, they didn't get there by mistake, all right? But billionaires are such great people. Hey, I'm just saying. But your car, love it or hate it, I would rather be with them than not. You know, I'd rather my bank account be with them than not. You know, I like. Do you remember in the, speaking of the debate coming up soon, right? Remember in the 2016 debates, and they were like, "Oh, you only paid $700 in taxes," and I'm like, give me the blueprint. I was like, honest to God, I was like, give me the blueprint to pay $700 in taxes, and the response was, because I'm smart. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, I want to win. I want to win. It says, it's actually the fifth. It says, I see what I did. See what I did. It says in the fifth, your car says, yes, they are. That's a great point. I'm just saying, are they the ultimate loan sharks? Mark Cuban did a rug pull in the crypto market. You see, they out there. And DMX. I'm just saying, and that's how we're gonna wrap the show, right? Because Ralph, that was okay. You still trashed them. You know what? That is I've gotten compliments from Mitch before, but I think that might be my favorite one because that one, because the other ones, they're all like, sentimental and stuff like that. We get all teary-eyed and stuff. We're like, oh my gosh. But this one was the first one that he pulled from the bottom of his hating to say that was a good joke. That felt great, but still trash. So, I love it. And we didn't say we wouldn't get that money. We said they are holes. Well, fair. But I mean, at the end of the day, right? What billionaire isn't, right? I don't know any billionaire personally, but I would all right, I'm gonna say this. If I was a billionaire, I'd probably be one of them too, right? I mean, I'm a thousandaire and I'm one. So imagine that, right? Your car. I'm a thousandaire and I'm one. So if I was a billionaire, I'm just saying, tax avoidance is winning. As long as it's legal. It says Ralph Sentimental. That's why I stopped doing it. Anyways, we gotta wrap it up. It says money makes you more of what you are. And me, I'm broken. So oh man, see that maybe that's why I will not become a billionaire, because they'd be like, that short guy over there. Remember T.I.? How did it go? It's like 5'9" with the heart of a 6'4". I'm like, T.I., like what kind of weird verse was that? That was a weird verse. You gotta admit, was that a weird verse or not? Right? I thought it was a pretty weird verse, right? A weird verse where it's like 5'9" with the heart of a 6'4". I'm like, why? Like, huh? Like, what's so special about a 6'4"? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. For me, why 6'4", like anything is special. But anyways, as I'm still giving back to you know who. Rob and your car don't agree. Hey, go for it. And it says, no, you wouldn't. One of the ones I work with made the girl at Chipotle cry. They are mean for real. See, yeah, I'm just saying. Ralph definitely is mean. Look, I'm the nicest mean person that you will ever meet. Because I always say, with all due respect. And on that note, we're going to end it here for tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to be going live tomorrow morning, where we are going to be working on we're going to be investigating, working on our spike for what does it take for us to build the mobile app. All right. So with that being said, the question of the night, we had a very mix of questions. It was some great questions from the chat. I really, really appreciate it. But my question to you all is,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I am very, very much entertained. I really, really appreciate everyone for tuning in. But we're going to get out of here. You guys know, yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price is not tomorrow's price. Right? Because
one more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is always going up. And on that note, this is Tech Coach Ralph, and we are out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Spartans! What is your profession?
We the best.